Llegamos a San Pablo, Brasil, para entrevistar al elenco de The Voice, la serie de Prime Video que la está rompiendo todo el mundo. En este tremendo hotel que vamos a entrar ahora, vamos a hablar con Homelander, con Billy Butcher, con Huey, con Soldier Boy y con mucho más de la serie que la está rompiendo en el mundo de los cómics. Vení, vamos a entrevistarlos. So, thanks for having me here. It's an honor to be interviewing you and talking about the show, this new season. And the thing I wanted to start to ask you is, we've seen that many characters, with no spoilers, are getting V, so in their base. But which power would you choose? I know you already have yours, but would you change it? Would you have another one?
Like me as my character or me as Claudia?
No, you as Claudia.
Okay, great. Me as Claudia. I live in Los Angeles and I have to always go see family in Australia, and that flight is 14 hours and it's absolute murder.
Oof.
So I would choose teleportation.
Oh.
Hey, but would you end up nude when you got there?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
You know what? It's
Just
okay.
saying, because that's what happens in the show.
I can teleport into my bedroom. It's fine. I can teleport anywhere. Why can't I teleport? Why hasn't Huey figured that out?
Teleport into your closet, pal.
What's happening?
Do us all a favor.
What's he doing?
Why can't his closet be everywhere?
Good question.
Teleportation.
I would say, I've thought a lot about this. Gravity manipulation.
Ooh.
Because if you can manipulate gravity, you can make someone really heavy.
Yeah.
Then they can't follow.
Like the
They can't.
pandemic with the bellies, everybody made a bit of heavy.
Yes, that too. So there's that. But like, if I can manipulate gravity and create this like set like force around you, you can't move to catch me. Or I can lift it up and like make you super light, so you have like no grounding. So like, you know, you can just give someone like a little, and then they go flying.
Oh my gosh, why is yours for bad? You're using
Yeah, you could do lots of good with that.
Jesus.
You choose to go dark.
I'm thinking
Come
about
on.
fighting actual bad guys. Like that's
Oh,
what my mind goes.
okay.
You have to
Your
be
soul
prepared.
is like a piece of coal, my friend.
No, I'm thinking about protecting the people. That's the only place my
Mine was
mind goes.
selfish. I said teleportation.
I know, mine I would fly. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just to
It gets
be able
really
to,
cold the higher you go.
Not if you've got the right suit on.
So true.
That's true.
He's thought about this too.
Yeah.
Mine would be to be able to click my fingers and end all war
Whoa.
and feed everyone and
Very
create
Miss Universe
utopia.
answer.
So basically, that you
Very
reverse
mischievous.
Kidding. My superpower would be to get rid of
Okay.
Give him
unpaid
the
parking
crown.
tickets.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Never have to worry about a parking ticket.
that's
That's good.
So I have one for you, Anthony, if it's okay. I've been thinking about the villains in TV, and
Yeah.
Homelander is getting there like top in the mind of the people. Everybody loves to hate you.
Correct.
Everybody is afraid of you. How do you feel being the new Joffrey Baratheon of TV? Because everybody hates you and hates you. What do you think about that? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
King Joffrey.
I haven't heard that before.
Hitler's
That's
dream boat.
good. Oh,
That's great.
that's hitting below the belt there.
Yeah. Whoa. Slow your roll there, pal. No, look. Do you know what? If people hate me, then I'm doing my job right.
That's right.
Yeah.
The thing, you know what I have noticed though as well is, you know, the worst days on set. The worst sequences in the show are my most fun days on set because it's not real and there's always like gore and blood and visual effects, and I see it getting made in practicality. I see the visual effects guys doing what they do, and it's fascinating. It's really fun, and I'm still baffled by people thinking I'm scary at all because I'm the
are.
least scary person.
No, you're on the scenes that you're alone, talking in the mirror, or just telling somebody something. Those are the scary scenes. Not about the effects or flying. That's the thing. How do you prepare for those scenes? How do you feel? Do you feel like a scary guy?
No, man. I feel very unscary. I don't know how to say that any different way. I think it's just I mean, I really don't know because it's always been confusing to me that people say, "Oh my God, it's scary, scary, scary." And I'm like, I don't see anything scary, but I'm too subjective. I can't be objective about it, so it's hard for me to answer that.
He's just an incredibly talented actor. At the end of the day,
Definitely.
he's doing his job very, very well.
Oh, I was trying to say. I can't say that about myself. I was waiting for someone to say it.
I got you.
Actually, okay.
Come on,
Get in there.
brag for me.
But I'm not just saying that. He, not just lip service. He is truly like his turns. Even I'll just pick one of many. But when he tells the deep to eat poor Timothy,
my God, yes.
he comes in with such joy and glee, and the turn when he says, "Eat fucking Timothy."
Yeah.
It's that. I mean, that you can't teach that stuff. That's
Do you
just
think
really
the
that's
sales
just talent.
of octopus have been going down since the scene?
Sales of octopus.
Yeah.
Not this
You
hotel,
ate last night?
because me and Carl Urban had it last night, and let me tell you, Timothy
was
was fucking
delicious.
delicious.
Oh my God. So about the show, do you think the show is pushing harder because of the other like comic-like shows are getting softer?
Are they getting softer?
I think it's.
Are they getting softer?
I think it's a response to maybe not that they're getting softer, but how they've always been.
Yeah.
Like there's a traditional way that comic book stories have been told in television and film, and I think what makes our show work is that we flip everything. So one of the great things about, say, the Marvel universe or the DC universe is that they establish superheroes in popular culture where everyone can really see them as like these people potentially exist, or like it's easy for everyone knows about superheroes, right? So now when they're so established and you come in and say, what would happen if they were morally bankrupt? It's easier for people to take that idea and really like, just reflect on it, and so I think we're just giving people something that they haven't gotten.
Amazing. What do you think, guys?
I speak a lot, so you guys take it.
Well, I would say by the nature of the show, it continues to level up in a way that is bigger and better and greater. But I think the great thing about what Kripke and the writers do is that's not their intention. They don't set out at the beginning of the year to say, okay, well, we ended here. Now we got to bring it here.
At least that's what they say.
At least
Because I don't believe that.
Yeah, maybe the Vis Effects department says we got to bring it.
We've got to bring more.
But I honestly think that they just try to continue doing what is working, and they do it in a way that continues to just level up and be bigger and greater and grander. And I think it's a testament to great writing, great storytelling, great performances. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why the show is so successful is because it doesn't try to reinvent itself. It just keeps doubling down.
Yeah. Actually, a fellow Kiwi you may have heard of called Taika Waititi recently said something, and it's something that I try and live my life by. Never grow up. And I think the thing about this show is yeah, you're right, actually. Eric said he doesn't want to go bigger, he wants to go deeper with characters. But the nature of the show is we also have to have these big attention-grabbing sequences, because that's every show has that now. But it's always anchored in depth, and I think it's a testament to their, I don't want to say immaturity, but their youthful creativity, that they keep coming up with these absurd ideas, and everyone, let's face it, everybody wanted Ant-Man to go up Thanos' butt and blow him up, and we got to do it slightly differently.
Slightly different from the pee hole instead.
But yeah, we get to do the adult version of the superhero things.
Yeah.
And with you, Claudia, your scenes, like you were saying, there's gory scenes. Did you enjoy yours? Like splatter and blood and pieces of the head of the guys there?
Yeah. How was it?
I loved it.
Enjoy having brain flung on you?
No.
She's a good Aussie girl.
No, I have so much fun. I enjoy it endlessly, honestly. And like fight scenes like that where you're exploding his hand off and other parts of his body.
It's fun, isn't it?
It is, and we worked for 6 weeks to prep for that. So we were actually so excited on the night to actually film it because we were preparing for 6 weeks straight.
How does it taste like? Because you were all splattered.
Sugar.
Sugary? Is
Yeah,
it
I
sugar?
don't know. Not
It's
bad.
corn
sugar.
syrup.
Is it
It's
corn
corn
syrup and it's very
Yeah.
sweet and it's very
Yeah.
saccharine.
It's not gory then at the set.
No, it's like Anthony said. It's like when you go into a scene, some of the most like extreme scenes or the most
Yeah.
dark scenes, like you're actually having a great time.
It's so, and you got to often like I haven't done much of this for a while, but I know like our fight scenes in it. It's so choreographed and it's so technical.
Yeah.
And it's what you end up seeing on screen is the product of so many different. Not just us. We have a teeny piece, a small part of this. This production, and there's so many hands that go into creating what the viewers end up seeing. So it's very it's so separated and dislocated in that respect. So it's like I find it enjoyable.
Yeah, when the episodes come out, I'm just as shocked as what I'm seeing.
I love
I'm
it.
straight seeing
Yeah,
because on the day I was like, oh, he wasn't bleeding out of the side.
Yeah. And you get to see
On the
everyone
day.
else's
Yeah.
work, and you
Yeah.
hear the score that they put with it, the music they put with it. You see all the visual effects, and it's like it's an incredible process, and we're a very small part of it in that respect.
Yeah.
About Soldier Boy, what did you bring from your other characters that people love into creating your own version of Soldier Boy? Because it seems like a very complicated guy. We don't know actually what's going on inside his head, like at the detail. What did you bring? What do you think about your own version of Soldier Boy?
What did I bring to just devilishly handsome good looks, I think, was the first thing.
That was it.
That was it. And then I just read the
I was
lines.
gonna.
You don't read the lines. The lines read.
Swag.
That's right.
Yeah.
We puppy.
I don't read a script. Script reads me.
And I was like, what is that?
Yeah. No,
I brought
look,
my acting.
This character was, we didn't overly dissect this character at the beginning. I just kind of, I got a few suggestions from Kripke and from Phil Segricha, another executive producer, and they said go back and look at some of these older actors, Lee Marvin and Robert Mitchum, and I didn't go back and look at their work. I went back and watched their interviews as those people, because that's really what I was trying to go for, was who these guys were, what a guy like that was in real life, and I just kind of took my cues from that. I tried to find a speech cadence that was a little older and just looked down on everything that was new and shiny as though it was bullshit.
Just weak.
Just pitiful. And,
Yeah.
and like, what is this digital world from the eyes of an analog guy? And so I don't know what I brought as far as personally, other than just trying to not drop the ball in a very, very elevated game with these guys.
What about the comics? Did you read the whole of them? Did you read your characters in the comics? What are your mixes? Because the comic book is not as the same as the show.
No, it's very
like
different.
a guide.
Yeah.
But did you read them? Did you get any pointers from that?
I mean, yeah, for me, I did. Actually, I was going to just say about that, particularly with your character, it's completely different to the comic book. In the comic book, Soldier Boy wears shorts. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No.
No, he's also, like, he's neurotic.
And pisses himself.
He's totally neurotic. He pisses himself, and like he's constantly quaking, literally like knees knocking in fear.
Yeah.
Whereas our boy is like quite the opposite of that. I mean, whatever fear he's got, and he has got it. He's got a lot of trauma and damage, but it's internalized, and there's this very hyper masculine exterior. So I just to tail end on that. And for myself, my guy is. I would say we've added a few more dimensions on screen than in the comic. He's kind of outright bad guy in the comics, at least from my experience.
Yeah, I mean, Victoria Newman is Vic the V, is this dim-witted man in the comics, and Newman's very, in the show, strategic and manipulative, so they've just...
An intelligent woman.
An intelligent woman. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I remember I think it was 2019, I think it was one of our first premieres. We were at a bar in New York, and we ran into Garth Ennis. And so I was talking to him about noir, and I wanted to just get his take on things, because noir is a cipher, especially in the comics. And, what he said is, you're creating your own thing.
Yeah.
You know, so wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, like it's okay because you're making something new. And so that really gave me a lot of freedom to feel good about exploring noir in a different dimension.
And how is it like to work with your helmet on? Because there's a new trend like Mandalorian, Halo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows that you don't, with Vader, you
Yeah.
don't take out your own helmet. How is it working like that? Is it hard? Is it hard not to be as recognized as these guys maybe, or have the same impact?
It's
as you personally.
Yeah, no, it's fine because like I get to see, you know, the effect, like, you know, being recognized everywhere. I get to see it, you know, but I still get to kind of be a little like low key.
You're a mystery.
Yes, and it's never something you prepare for as an actor. Like you're not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a role, you know, where you can't see my face. So it was a surprise. But for me, it's like connecting to everything I would think or feel or do, and expressing it through my body, and then just making it really subtle. You know, so you know, just communicating through body language. You know, you think of things like dance
And cartoons.
Yes, cartoons are very important. You know, so it's a lot of fun. You know, and I know it comes across subtle in different ways, but it's you're just telling a story and you're communicating in a different way through your body, and it's not something that I expected, but it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you guys so much. Really, it's been amazing talking to you. I'm
you,
looking
buddy.
forward to see you in Argentina sometime.
Thank you.
We would love to go.
You should. Bye bye.
Este invierno te esperamos en San Juan para que te encuentres con todo eso que te hace bien. San Juan, renueva tu energía.
Okay guys, thanks for having me. Really, this is a great opportunity to be with you here. And I wanted to ask you about this season and about the making of the show. And I want to start with you, Eric, if it's okay for you, with you. And no?
It's fine.
No, he's joking. He's joking. He's joking.
So, because I don't want to be like any problems with you guys, I don't know.
No.
Relationship.
There won't be on camera.
There will be no problems. We love this guy. He's a rare gem, like some piece of turquoise from Sedona. So get in there. Yeah.
Okay, Eric, so the first question I have for you is this show have found a place between nothing in adult comics it was there before. It's like no one there to go that way. Mm-hmm. How do you balance this humor, this gore, and this drama in the show?
We just sort of start from the place of what would happen if superheroes really existed in our reality, and what a horrible idea it would be, what a terrible, truly awful idea it would be. Because the one thing that all the Marvel and DC shows don't really factor in is the people that would be getting superpowers are people. And they're complicated, and they have dark sides, and they can be selfish. And so everything in our world kind of skews from that. So like if there's going to be something gory, it's because, you know, it's just the truth that the Flash would run through people every so often, you know? Or when you get lasered, like from Homelander, like when Superman lasers somebody, it doesn't really look like that. Like it looks like the way Homelander does it, exactly. Yeah. So everything sort of comes from us just kind of logically trying to play that game of making it as real as possible.
Amazing. So, what was the most disgusting scene you had to shoot? You got a few.
I've got a few, yeah, I got a few notches in my belt, but the most disgusting scene? I mean, probably, it's weird, like, it didn't disgust me in the moment because I was just kind of amazed that we made a whale. We constructed a whale with an exterior and an interior, but just to have a scene literally in the belly of a whale was incredible. Like, it's one of those experiences where you're just like, I have to take this in because I know I'll never be here again, you know, with the actual beating heart that's slowly dying as the whale passes away. I still can't believe we did that, yeah.
So, Carl, I got a few for you, if it's okay? It's okay? Right. Yeah. Let's go then. Butcher in this season seems to be self-destructive. We've seen it, no spoilers, but we've seen that he's going the extra mile to get Homelander. Do you think he is like that? The guy is like that? Or is it just going to self-destruct just of the objective to get Homelander?
Well, I think the thing with Butcher is that his thirst for revenge on Homelander is an obsession, and it's all-consuming. That is all that Butcher can see, even to the detriment of his friends and his responsibilities and obligations. And it's, you know, it's the incorrect path as opposed to Huey's path, which was one that was more about seeking justice, which is the morally correct path. So really, you know, and this season, Butcher is even further down that rabbit hole, and all he can see in his sights is Homelander, and you know that unfortunately that comes at a cost.
Do you think he's a bad guy, or he's truly a good guy inside?
Well, I don't really feel like it's for me to say. I certainly don't play the character like he's a bad guy. I kind of tend to think that he deep down that he is a good guy, but he's just doing bad things. And but you know, there's no the great thing about The Boys is there is no black and white. You know,
Yes,
the characters are so wonderfully well written that there are so many different shades of grey, and that's what, you know, that dynamic is what makes them interesting. It's not so cut and dry like that.
Yeah. So in the midst of that, do you write the show? Do you think the show being able to follow the comics, but not exactly, or do you have the comics as a guide, or just a starting idea?
We generally use the comics as more of like a tonal guide. Like we try to get the tone right, and we try to get the characters, you know, by and large right. But we can't. The way the comic is structured, you actually couldn't adapt it one-to-one. It's actually quite episodic. It would work really good as like an X-rated Law and Order. You know, it's very very episodic, and you know, on streaming like Prime, you know, you need one big long story, and so that alone means we can't just adapt it. So what we tend to do as the writers is every season the story we'll cook up is in general an totally original story, but then we'll go back to the moments and characters that we love, and we kind of hang it on that structure, sort of like ornaments. Like, oh, we love little Nina, so we wanted to put her on, and you know, whatever weirdness, love sausage or going to Russia is a story. Herogasm, obviously. So it's like we take these moments that we love and we fold them into a story that we cooked up.
Do you have the final scene written? Do you know the final of the whole
We
story?
don't. We definitely don't know.
don't?
But maybe he does.
You do.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, we just everyone knows but Jack.
Yeah. No one tells me nothing.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, any showrunner who tells you they have the final scene written is lying. The truth is, you know, you have, I always call it like a cocktail napkin sketch. You have like a sense of what you want it to be, and you hope that you can eventually steer the ship to that place. But nobody does. They just like to sound cool in interviews. It's the truth of
Because
it.
I have the final written.
Yeah.
Carl, did you write a final scene for the show?
It's done. Pat.
Yeah. All right. You're not sending it to me, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You'll get it on the day.
Yeah. Get it on the day. I gotta memorize my lines.
So, Carl, I'm from Cultura Geek. That's a media based on geek culture and these kind of shows. We love them. And we know you've been like a semi-god to us, like a Homelander, because you were in the MCU, you were in a whole lot of shows that we really love, Dread. And do you have like something in your mind that you would love the story to play? Like maybe there's something in your mind besides Billy Butcher being the top of them?
You know, I never really know what I want to do until that script lands on my desk and I start reading it and making decisions and choices about how I would play it. You know, if it starts to creatively fuel me, then that's, you know, it's generally an indication of that might be something that I want to do. But no, at the moment my prime focus is The Boys, and you know, I'm certainly looking forward to getting back into shoot the next season. That's my focus at this point.
So, if you need to choose, like, compound B, but you can choose your powers, not like the one you got, but that's sort of spoilers. The one you got, which one would you choose?
Oh man, I feel like I kind of want the one that I got just without without the twist.
Without
you
so
know?
much, without so much nudity.
Without so much nudity, yeah.
Boring.
Just take the clothes. I hate flying. Just go. Just poof right over to Brazil.
It's boring, but flying for sure. That would be amazing.
But but it's amazing. Like anyone who's like, oh, flying sucks, they're lying.
Well,
They're
just
like,
flying.
It's amazing.
Flying is just the obvious answer. That's all. It's
Yeah,
not that it sucks.
But it's great.
Well, with migrations, if you fly, you can enter another country or you gotta stamp the.
Man, just go anywhere, baby.
Yeah.
What about you, Con?
I think the best superpower would be the ability to give someone gastroenteritis. Boom.
Yeah, it'd be hard to overcome.
It'd be hard to overcome. It'd be debilitating.
Yeah.
Stomach things. They're rough.
Awful. So, Eric, last one for you, if it's okay. How do you work with the comics? You told me that's a guide, but have you read all of them? Have you studied them? Have you studied the characters? What was the work around the initial comic? Because now the show is kind of...
Yeah, you mean the comics. I mean, look, I came into this, I mean, the reason I sought out this job because I'm a huge fan of the comic. And Garth Ennis, who wrote it, is, for my money, the best comic writer ever. So I already knew it inside and out even before, I took on the task of adapting it. And I read them again. I mean, I think I've read them countless times now. But I read them again in between every season and take a whole new round of notes of like, oh, here's a character we haven't gotten to yet, or here's a moment that I haven't gotten to. And then, we'll bring it in to the writers who are also all fans. And it's not me, it's just there's a whole staff of geniuses who really do come up with that stuff. Most of the time I'm basically like I'm their talk show host. Like I let them talk and I ask them questions, and so they're the ones who are really cooking it up, and they're all reading it too.
What about you guys? Have you studied besides the script, your characters in the comics? Did you get any pointers of the writer team?
Oh, I mean, I read all the comics just because I knew I was going to neither look nor sound anything like Huey in the comics, He's like 5 feet tall in the comics.
And Simon Pegg.
And Simon Pegg and Scottish. So I was like, I need to read all of these comics so that I can understand what the spirit of the character of Huey is, because I know I'm going to, not really look like him. So I want to know, okay, like why is this character appealing? And I think I came to the conclusion that he's just an ordinary dude in extraordinary circumstances. Like he's an everyman through and through. And I love the character of Huey in the comics, so I read all of them just to get a real sense.
Yeah, I didn't read them all, but I read quite a few of them, and particularly the ones that relate to Butcher and his backstory. But going into it, Kripke was like, well, we're definitely doing our own thing. And check them out, but the Butcher in the comics is quite different, and the certain events are quite different. That was really a starting point. But for me, really, the Bible is are those scripts that we get.
Yeah.
So the last one for the three of you: do you think this show? I know this. Do you think this show is pushing it harder every season? We go further from the other ones. Because of the other shows of this kind of public, maybe the comic book fans and this kind of show fans are toning it down. Maybe they're going softer, and you gotta go harder.
That's an interesting question. No, we don't. I mean, genuinely, for as crazy as the show gets, we almost never play the game of how far can we go, or can we go further, or we need to top ourselves. The show has its own very particular tone. And then we let the characters drive it. It's just, we spend, out of, coming up with story, we'll easily spend 75% of the time just talking about these characters' psychology. Also helps to have actors like this who can just nail it. And then only then do we say, well, if they were in this situation, this crazy thing might happen. But I think if you try to just always make it about the crazy, I think it starts to feel like kind of cheap. And I think one of the reasons the show feels like it's got weight to it is because all of those notions, no matter how insane, are always there to illuminate something about the characters. Like even that insane termite scene in the beginning of the season, the craziest possible scene, that's ultimately a scene about how Butcher's trying to be on the straight and narrow, right? And that even after all that, he's going to keep that guy alive, you know. And had it not been about that moment of choice, that scene would have just been silly. So we're always, you know, we come up with crazy shit, sorry stuff, but it is always grounded in the choices we have to, you know, we're trying to dramatize.
Did you like feel?
I'm not going to come up with a better answer than that. I mean, that's, you know.
When you read the script, do you feel like, oh, whoa, this is too much, or maybe this is crazy?
No, every time I, you know, read a script and I see a crazy moment, I'm just delighted. I don't know. I kind of take a certain glee in being in something that makes people occasionally recoil. I think it's really fun just to be in something that you watch and you go, ooh, sometimes. But like Eric said, again, I'm not going to top that, but it really is. I think that's why the show works, is because it's about the characters. It's not about, because if you try to out crazy yourself, eventually you wind up with nowhere to go. So
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, Carl, the last one.
Well, I think for me, what I really respond to when I'm reading the scripts, yes, there are shocking moments, but what I'm finding consistently season through season is that the writers are digging deeper into the heart of the characters and their connections and their relationships, and to me that's really the glue of the show. So if you didn't have that, it would just be a whole bunch of sort of set pieces and crazy shit, and it's not. And to me, I think that's what the audience responds to, and that's why they keep coming back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time. I'm looking forward to see you in Argentina.
Yeah, thank you
so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Great questions.